Hey guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd. This is our Owl House Season 2, Episode 10 review for yesterday's Lie. I'm sorry we're a little bit delayed. I think we're about, 10 minutes late. My camera decided that it didn't like me, so it didn't want to turn on. But it is working now. Heads up, I also am extremely congested, so I probably sound like I'm dying, and who knows, maybe I am. So let's jump right into this episode. This episode was crazy. This is the mid-season finale, which means we don't get another episode of the Owl House probably for another 4 months. Thank you, Disney. And I think the second half of this season is going to have 11 episodes. So we have 10 for the first half and 11 for the second half. Hi, Mercenary. Hi, Chris. Hi, Jathan. I'll look at your comments in a second. So really quick summary. They build a portal, like a makeshift DIY ghetto portal using the Titan's blood from Amity's glove to try and send Luce home. Now, Amity was not in this at all. So I thought it was really interesting that Luce went through the portal. She had a rope on. So Ida and King had a rope so she wouldn't, get stuck or trapped wherever she is. Whenever I see people put ropes on people, I'm always like, why not chains? Because ropes are so flimsy. Why not a chain? It's a little harder and rougher. But that's just me. I'm paranoid. But anyway, so Luce, she goes to the portal, and instead of actually going into the human realm, she goes into like this kind of limbo area with a bunch of, I'm going to call them mother boxes, like mother cubes. And each cube allows you to see the location that you would like to go to. And you're able to call that location by the person you're looking for. But you're the reflection. You're not actually there. So Luce first tries it, and she's back at the Owl House. So she gets to see, Ida and King looking at her, looking at the portal, waiting for her. And then the second thing she does is she's like, I'm going to call Amity. And of course she's going to call Amity. You see her blushing. I think I'm going to look in on Amity. I'm like, I don't know how I felt about that. I'm like, don't be perverted, Luce. But it was cute. And then she's like, no, I'm on a mission. So then she calls her mother Camilla's name. So she calls her mother's Camilla's name. And then she sees, of course, herself. She sees herself. And the version of herself is a lot more put together. Her hair is brushed better. She's got barrettes on. She's cleaner. She's gotten away, basically thrown away or donated. Well, she was throwing away all of her nerdy stuff in a box. Basically reflecting that the camp that drains your imagination was successful. She was successfully brainwashed. Now, I know when I first saw this Luce, I thought it was going to be this evil version of Luce, either from the Boiling Isles or from this camp. And maybe it was like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers thing. I thought that would have been really dark. But apparently that is not what it is. So Luce, the Luce that's been living with the mother, her name is V, or also number 5, and she's a basilisk. And the basilisk race in the Boiling Isles were extinct, but they were brought back like test tube babies. And they were pretty much experimented on to see how they're able to drain magic, which is, of course, Balos. Something else we learned in this episode through, just them throwing out facts. They were throwing out a lot of facts in this. Philip was not the only person that went over to the Boiling Isles originally. There were 2 brothers. Now I'm like, I don't know. Was Balos the second brother and Philip the first brother, and Philip died? And then if that's the case, then maybe Hunter really is his nephew, because that would be, Philip's actual son. I don't know. There's a lot to this. There's a lot, because we were always under the impression that Philip was the first human and the first human male to go over to the Boiling Isles, and now we know that they were brothers and that they were lured there. So that's a whole other mind crap. But yeah, so V basically was hiding out from Balos because she escaped the lab, basically, and it was the same time that Luce got sucked over to the Boiling Isles. So she just shapeshifted into Luce, took her place. And went to camp. And she's so sweet. Like, V is adorable. Her voice actress is adorable. She's absolutely adorable. So she's not, an antagonist at all. She's just somebody who's scared of Belos. And I thought that was interesting how that played out. All right, some really side note stuff. Ida's fake name in the human realm is Marilyn. So I already know that people are like, it's Stanley Pine's wife from Gravity, his ex-wife from Gravity Falls. I already know people are saying it. Haven't seen any reviews on this, but I mean, considering they always try to connect Amphibia and Gravity Falls to this series, I'm like, of course, Ida would be Stanley Pine's ex-wife. Why not? So that was really interesting that they threw that out at us. There's also, when you see Camilla talking to Luce, there's a picture of her and Luce, and then there's like a picture of somebody with them, which we're assuming is the other parent, and we're assuming it's a father. Now, as a queer woman, it could have been a mother, but we're going to say for mystery's sake, more than likely it was Luce's father. And the reason that I think that picture is grayed out is it could have something to do with why Luce was sent to was able to do magic and have all of these things in the Boiling Isles. Even though it's glyph magic, the reason she's able to do it is because maybe she does have magic on some level from her father. Also, Camilla says a line that says, "Did you really hate living with me that much?" Which is something you normally hear parents say when they're separated or divorced. So that's interesting. So I'm really curious now about her, Luce's father. But anyway, so long story short, like I said, it's going to be a short summary. Luce finds out about V. Then she basically wants her to keep on pretending to be her while she stays in the Boiling Isles and learns more until she can find a working human portal or make one to go home full time. Basically, she wants more time in the Boiling Isles. But the problem is that V cannot transfer or shapeshift without magic, and they're in the human realm. So of course, Luce is like, well, there's got to be magic because Ida, the owl lady, went to this cafe. So surely she left some behind. And so they go to this cafe and they meet this waitress. And that's what we learn about Ida's name being Marilyn. And side note, on the paper where they saw about the cafe, on the other side, it said Secrets of Gravesfield. And Luce said, oh, that's trash. And now in my mind, I'm thinking that actually means something. Because I don't know what it means, but I feel like that's connected to something because they never put stuff in without a reason. So I think there's something up with that. But anyway, so back to that. So they go to the cafe, they talk to her. She says how, Ida tried to pay. If I remember, it was like she tried to pay with a skunk or something for money. And then she did something to the croissants, made them crazy. There was like crazy, rats with red glowing eyes. It was just really creepy. We did meet 3 kids from camp that V went to as Luce. And obviously, they're doing tarot readings and stuff. So obviously, they weren't brainwashed at this camp either. So it's pretty up and up, legit camp, I guess, which I was completely okay with. And then we meet the curator of this museum who saw the owl lady before. Basically, he saw Ida in her owl demon form and become obsessed. So in the episode, somebody's been putting these traps out and basically. We see Camilla cut free a bunny, and Camilla is a vet, so she loves animals, and she can't figure out who's doing it. Well, it's this curator guy because he's trying to catch a demon, and he ends up catching V because he wants to basically out her on his YouTube channel, so his account will be verified. I mean, it's a mess. And Luce has to come clean to her mother to basically save V. So she tells her all the story about the Boiling Isles, everything that's been going on, and all about V. And the mother's thinking it's a joke, but she's like, okay, because you're at least you're showing imagination, I'm going to go along with it. So she goes to the museum and she confronts the curator guy, and eventually she realizes that this is actually real. And I love that Camilla went from joking to nervous and scared to Spanish mama. She whipped out that damn slipper and she hit his ass. So I see where Luce gets her bravery and stubbornness from because Camilla was not playing. Not playing, especially when he's like, I'm just gonna dissect V. She's like, oh no, no. She became angry grandma for a second. So I was here for it. But then the heartbreaking thing happened, and that is, Camilla's like, I'm barely holding it together, and Lucy's like, I'm going to try and find a way home. And she's like, you're awesome. And, it looks like you've grown. She said, yeah, I knew there was a reason I decided to stay here longer. And that's when Camilla was like freaking out. She's like, wait, you chose to stay there? And she's like, did you really hate living with me that much? And then she's like, she made Luce promise that when she found a way home, she would never go back to the Boiling Isles. She would stay in the human realm. And unfortunately, Luce reluctantly agrees because her mother's so hurt that she thinks she abandoned her and doesn't want to live with her. And, she did something to make Luce run away. It was horrible. And then when Luce came back with Ida and King, they're all like, well, and King was like, did you tell her about us, or tell her about me? And she's like, yeah, my mother can't wait to meet you. And, they're going about, happy that she's back, and you can see on her face where she's like depressed as hell. So she made a deal to give up the Boiling Isles, and so that's the cliffhanger. But yeah, this episode was great, and like I'm so sad because again, this is Disney's thing. They do this. We may not get another episode for 4 months. So this is all we get for 4 months. And like I said, it gave us a little bit. Like, again, I love the Gravity Falls potential connection. I love that we now learn that Belos did not come over, or Philip didn't come over alone. There were 2 brothers, which is pretty good. We did learn that basilisks were extinct and they were brought back just to study how they absorb magic, which could be for a lot of reasons. I mean, maybe he wanted to see if they were able to absorb his curse, because technically a curse is magical. So maybe that's why he's trying to get all these magical creatures and witches or demons together to try and drain his magic, or his curse from his body, should I say, because of the Titan. So I mean, it could be a thing, and you need Titan to do magic. So I don't know. It's a thing. Again, I'm still curious on the Secrets of Gravesfield thing, because I don't feel like they put that in there for no reason. I don't feel like that was a throwaway comment. So I really believe that there's more to that. The Secrets of Gravesfield is definitely something we need to look for in the future episodes. But right now, it's like a little nugget. So if you have a theory on what that could be, let me know. But I don't think that was a throwaway comment. I really don't. But yeah, and I love that they saved V, and I guess V is going to stay on, probably pretending to be Luce, because I don't think she can stay in the human realm looking like a basilisk. I mean, I guess she could if she never left the house, but it's a thing. But yeah, great episode. All right, so let me look over at the comments. Why? No, don't go away, Owl House. I know, I'm so sad, but I mean, that's what they do. It's like Nickelodeon with Power Rangers. They go away for like 6 or 7 months. Well, all of Disney's really good cartoons go away for 4. It's just this mid-season break for some reason. So many theories being formed from this episode. I know. I did not expect. I think the biggest thing for me was I didn't expect the 2 brothers, that there was not just Philip. I think that is definitely a thing. Plus, why do we never see Luce's dad? I really don't understand that. This was a really good mid-season finale, but no Hunter. Yeah, Hunter Boo, no Lumity, and no Lilith, who is really Abigail. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Not wrong at all. I noticed that they obscured a picture of Luce's father. I did too. And they're, like I said, they don't do things for no reason. So I think there's a big clue in who Daddy is and how. I'd be curious to see if Camilla made it over to the Boiling Isles, if she was able to use glyphs. Because if she was not, or any other human that went over was not, and only Luce is able to use glyphs, then that's because one of her parents is from the Boiling Isles, and that's probably her dad. I think it's cool. The guy in the museum might be a descendant of Philip. I could see that. It's like in the Goosebumps episode where bad kids get sent to a school and made perfect drones of them. They get sent back while the real kids stay trapped. Yeah, or just like the old school Stepford Wives movie. So it's the same, principle. I recognize the voice of V from Steve Universe. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure like this I think Disney has a lot of the same actor pools. As a voice actor, I know that there are some companies that even I work for that they will call you in to do different things because they're used to you or they know you can do it. Once you build like a reputation with a company, then they do use you a lot. So Funimation's notorious for that. I was with Funimation and I know that their talent pool now, if you look at some of the anime, you'll see some of the same names rotating over and over and over. So that does not shock me at all. Why is it that the best Disney shows never come out in regular intervals and always release irregularly? Because they hate us. Like they effing hate us. That is the best answer I could give you from my heart and my soul. They're like, we're gonna write an amazing show and then we're gonna make you wait for it. Yeah, I'm loving the pigtails. Thank you. It's easy. I get up and I'm like, what am I gonna do with my hair, guys? Psh, bam. Bam. Besides, I don't look like I'm in my 40s when I have pigtails. Just saying. Just saying. Luz's mom is angry grandma. She is. And you can see it on her face. They animated her face perfectly. She went from, she was like, this is nothing. Then she's like, wait, is this for real? And she's like, oh, hell no. She's like, oh, hell no, hell no. Give me that damn slipper. I was like, she went like that. And I love when Luz speaks. She sounds like a stereotypical average American teenager. And then when she's talking to her about her mother or anything about her culture, she has an accent. It is really interesting to me. I wish, do you guys know what country of origin? I know they speak Spanish, but do you know what, did they ever say what country of origin they're from? Are they Brazilian? Are they Portuguese? Or, are they, Mexican? Where are they from? I really would love to know where Luz and Camila are from. Because I love that they're darker skinned. And I love like I said, this show is really good on representation. Like, for instance, with Amity's hair. Normally, when you have a character who dyes her hair, she just dyes her hair that color and they just reference it all the damn time. For some reason in the Boiling Isles, whenever they dye their hair, they don't dye their hair all the way because she always has a brown streak in her head. And I need to go back and see if it's still in there. I'm pretty sure. You know what? Let me do that now. I'm going to go look at a picture of her purple hair. But I want to say that that brown patch, her natural hair, is still there, like it's visible. And it's like that one imperfection, but it is. So it's not as profound or pronounced, should I say? It's not as pronounced as it was when her hair was green, because it was really pronounced when it was green, but I do see a little bit of it on both sides. So either that's intentional, so we know that Amity is really a mousy brown haired girl who basically has her father's hair color and didn't inherit the green hair at all, or her sister is shit at dyeing hair. Like, she's just like, we're just not going to get your roots because we're just not going to do that. It's not what we do here. We'll give you whatever color you want on the base, the ends of your hair, but everyone's going to know that this is a dye job. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. But like I said, we have 11 episodes coming up. I'm happy that we still have 11 episodes. So that is good. Hi Ray, how are you? The brown patch was in her roots when it was green, and then on the sides now, wild lavender. Right. Like it seemed like, I think it was like here, and now it's here. So yeah, you're right. Luz is Dominican. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I always wanted, I guess I just missed it because normally I'm used to people saying, oh, we're from Venezuela, blah, blah, blah. I didn't remember them saying it or her announcing that. So that's cool. That is very cool. But no, like I said, back to the whole thing. Like, I want to know where Amity fits into this, not just relationship wise, because now I know there's going to be a lot of angst between this couple because they, Lumity is canon now. They're finally together. They're very freaking adorable. And now Luz has to tell her girlfriend that she can't see her anymore because she has to leave and never come back. And that is going to cause a lot of issues. I hope that Luz does not break up with Amity and not tell her why. And she just figures, I need her to just get over me. And the best way to do that is to hate me. I really hope we don't have drama like that. That would suck. But also I want to know, Amity's parents are trying to get her to head a coven and is trying to get her to be one of the Emperor's biatches, basically. And Amity's very powerful. And so I want to know what the nefarious plans are for Amity in the show, because I feel like there's more going on with her than just Lumity. So that's a thing. I also want to know what Hunter's actual role is, because I still feel like Hunter is just an available body for Belos to jump into when his gives out. But I don't know. Amity is one of my favorite characters now. Since last episode, it was Willow. Yeah, Amity's my favorite character in the series. Well, Amity and Luce are my favorite characters, but I agree with you. You can rotate favorites in this show very easily, because this is a very well written show. So there aren't any characters that you don't like. I like Rain a lot. I think Rain is a very cool character. And I want to say Rain represents non-binary, and I love them. I love Rain's voice. Very soothing, very husky. I love Rain's voice. Yeah, I love Willow. We don't have any of our antagonists from school right now, and I cannot remember the girl we saw last season who was playing the sport that went right out of my head. That's kind of like, it's not really Quidditch. It's not, I don't know what the heck it was, but it was some kind of game that Amity used to play. But that girl was downright evil, and like we don't see her at all. I hate that we're not getting the Hexside stuff. I really need us to get more Hexside stuff in the second half of season 2, because again, we only have 4 episodes in season 3, and they're 44 minutes long. And I want to experience more of our on crack anti-Harry Potter, anti-Hogsworth, school, which is Hexside, because I loved it. I loved all the stuff we learned, all the stuff they got to learn, all the experiences they had that were different, from what we would see in the human realm. I really loved their school days. And I hate that we're not seeing hardly any part of their school. We saw maybe 2 or 3 episodes that had them at school, and then nothing. So I really hope we get to see more of that. How emotional it would be when Luce's mom meets Amity. I think it'd be cute. That's not what I want to see. I want to see Luce's mom meet Amity's mom, because I think Luce's mom is going to beat Amity's mom's ass. Doesn't matter. Her mother can do abomination magic. Why get together if she's so serious about leaving in the first place? I saw this coming. This was murder for her heart. She knew it before they got together. Yeah, she even said, I don't know what my future is going to be, but I really want you in it. Oh no, it's so hard. So Amity is more powerful than the twins. Absolutely. To me, she's a prodigy. Hunter is my favorite right now. Hunter's cool. I was a little upset with him about the last episode, even though I feel like it's not 100% his fault, because how he was raised. I mean, he was raised to be someone who had friends and somebody who was social. And he was really in his feelings last episode when people called his voice, like when Ida's like, oh, it's the kid with the annoying voice. And he's like, why does everyone keep saying that? And I'm like, oh, my feelings. My feelings. My favorite characters are Lilith and Hunter. He is my boo. Maria, I would love to send you my YA superhero novel. You definitely go to Instagram if you haven't already, and message me on Instagram. Either Maria Amelia Park or Approach the Nerd, which I need to start updating my Instagrams for those accounts. But Maria Amelia Park is my personal IG. Just direct message me and we will talk. I like Rain, but my favorite non-binary character is Double Trouble from She-Ra. They did that. Oh yeah. I gotcha. I need more Hexside as well. I mean, I miss it. I really miss it. And if we have more Hexside, we'll have more Gus and Willow, because I love Gus too. I think she was thinking she could visit, like how Ida comes and goes. Luce messed herself up with how she phrased it. She should have known how sensitive her mama was. Her mama sent her away to a camp to get rid of her imagination. That woman can't handle things. So, it's a thing. Hello, Chris. How are you? But I don't know. Again, this episode was really well written. It has just the amount of Easter eggs we need. And now, unfortunately, we have to wait. Like, my fear is that my life is going to get hard, because, Inuyasha is coming back, or Yashahime is coming back in October. I want to say it's October 10th. I'll have to check the date on that. My fear is that this series is going to come back the exact same day that I'm going to have 2 early morning reviews, and I'm going to jump out the window, like, because I usually do my Yashahime reviews at 5. Well, it comes out at 5 a.m. on Hulu, and by 6:30 I've already got a video out. So that's how fast I do these reviews. So imagine if this comes out at 9 a.m. CST time for me. I mean, yeah, that's a lot. So, but you know what? I love the show, and it is shorter. Both of them are kind of short actually, but the problem that I have is that, and I guess it's a good problem to have, is both the Owl House and Yashahime give you lots of content and Easter eggs and WTF moments that you have to dissect. So it's like my brain by 1 p.m. on Saturdays will be toast. I'm like I'm done. So be smoke coming out of my ears. And I feel like when the Owl House comes back, it's going to be fast forward. Like we're going to be getting content, like, prevalent to the plot, like to what's going on with Belos, like that. I don't think we're going to get a filler episode. I don't think there's been a filler episode in this season or even in this series. But yeah, I think it's going to move. And if you blink, you're going to miss stuff. So I don't know, guys. I'm excited. This is going in directions that is anybody's game. And let's not forget, Baby Rain is still asleep. He's been put under by Kikimora because Kikimora is an evil little troll and is holding Rain hostage for Belos because Belos needs all of the head coven leaders to drain their magic or whatever the heck he's doing. And it's a thing. It is a thing. Okay, we are almost at 30 minutes in. I normally have a little bit longer reviews, but like my sinuses are so clogged right now, I feel like I'm losing my voice. Not fun. But if you have any theories on what you think is actually going to happen in the second half of season 2, and what you think the outcome of Belos's plan is, why you think Hunter is even a concept, and why he has to stay in the palace, because as Belos has stated in the previous episode, it will be a lot of trouble to find a replacement. What does that even mean? Who in the heck is Luce's dad? What's going on with Philip and the other brother that came over? Who lured them there? How is Amity going to get out of staying in the human realm full time? Because she's going to have to come clean the mama. I really feel like what's actually going to happen is she's going to introduce Mama Ida to Mama Camilla, and they're going to have a heart-to-heart. And I think Ida's going to get her to let her visit. That's what I think is going to happen. But I don't know. But I need to know what you guys think. So write your theories below and let me know. And if it is morning or afternoon for you, have a very good day. If it is evening for you, have a very good night. And I will see you in my next review, which is coming up soon because I've got so many videos coming out. All right, guys. Love you. Have a good rest of your day or night.